All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on Unhinged. My next guest is crazy Chris Price. An absolute pleasure. I'm so excited for this one. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be on.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. Obviously, lacing up the yellow gloves in your last bout. I can't wait to talk and about the whole experience. It's good to get you on to talk about it. To pick your mind a little bit. So thank you. An absolute pleasure for your time. I know it's hard to get some fighters' times, and you were a gem. You were good to work with.
Thank you.
So we'll start from the top. We'll start with the debut at Cage Warriors. First and foremost, I just want to ask you. I know. What did it feel like lacing up them yellow gloves, them historical yellow gloves that Paddy's worn, that Nathaniel Woods worn, that Michael Bisping's worn? The name goes on and on. How did that feel? Just kind of lace them up.
Okay, so the day starts. Obviously, it's like any other fight day. In the back room, I'm getting my hands wrapped and putting them gloves on. The first thing that I said to my coach was, I put them on because there's some fucking nice gloves. Them Cage Warriors gloves are fucking lovely. I put them on after getting my hands wrapped, and I thought, "Fuck me, I'm gonna hurt somebody with this." They were rock solid, and they still are. Like, they're really hard to wear in. They're really, really good gloves. That's the first thing I thought. Like, I'm gonna fucking hurt someone in these, and I just was so excited when I put them on. And you want me to go on about the whole experience, like that?
I'm going to ask you about that. Obviously,
Would you? Would you want me to go step by step? All right. Well, the gloves were fucking, yeah. And I just thought, this is some cool shit. It was surreal. That's the only thing I can say, surreal. But next time I do it, I've just got to look at it like I'm fighting in a sport. So that's what I'm going to try and do.
So I would love to talk about the fight itself. Ultimately, it didn't go away, but we've seen some of the greats in the world lose. Georges St. Pierre lost once upon a time. Michael Bisping lost obviously multiple times. Anderson Silva, he lost multiple times. So
Yeah,
it's all
at a higher level. A better example you could give is I posted it ages ago when I was on holiday. A better example you could give is Conor McGregor's first loss. If you look at seriously, if you look at Tapology or Sherdog, you go way back to Conor McGregor's. I can't remember if it was his third or fourth pro fight. He lost against a guy with a similar record to the guy I just fought. He was on a win streak, finished guys first round, and then he came up against this Eastern European guy. I've probably fucked up the location, but who cares? Some guy. Nobody even fucking knows who the guy is, to be honest. And he got beat by him. He got submitted with a knee bar. And a lot of people at that point would think somebody like that, they just got beat by a nobody. Like, they're not going anywhere after that. And look, he's one of the biggest names in the sport now. My loss, as sad as it was and as much as it hurt, I fought someone with a lot more fights than me, a lot more fights and a lot more experience. And also, he had experience against very high level competition. He didn't have like a full on winning record. He had more wins than losses, but it was a mixed record that he had. But it doesn't matter. He's a fighter and he's a fucking hard bastard. He was very, very, very tough. And I just look at it as a learning experience. And if Conor McGregor can get to where he is off a similar experience, I can. And there's a lot of other examples I can give. It's one of them. A lot of examples I can give of people that have lost. Some even lost their first fucking pro fight. Some of these people. Like the examples you gave, mate, all them guys, they lost at the highest level. Every single one of them guys, they lost in the UFC.
Anderson Silva also lost. Bisping also lost before he got to the UFC.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Bisping didn't.
Bisping was undefeated.
He didn't in MMA. He didn't in MMA, I don't think. He might have in kickboxing or something. But
yeah, Karen, sorry.
Yeah, Anderson Silva, I think he lost in Pride, I think. But still, that's the highest level.
And I believe, if my knowledge is correct, George St. Pierre might have lost his first fight. Or who lost his first fight?
No, he didn't. He lost his first fight. He lost was Matt Hughes won.
There we go.
He got all the way to the world title, and then he lost. I'm an MMA nerd. I know my shit, especially old school MMA. I'm not really that knowledgeable on modern MMA though. At the minute, I just watch modern MMA for more the studying aspect of it. But old school MMA, like the George St. Pierre days, the Matt Hughes days, Chuck Liddell days, I'm just a big fan of that era, if you get me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Anderson Silva lost his third professional fight.
Fucking hell! Up there you go, another example, and he's the goat.
There we have it. But yeah, so the point was, the greats have lost, and they've ultimately come back and gone on to do some fantastic things. Is that the way you're looking at it, and the way you're looking at this, this lesson, basically?
Yeah, but also a big one for me because without like. It's kind of half obvious now. I've moved officially to Next Gen full time now. Mm-hmm. That was a step that I felt needed to be done at this point in my career. I needed to be doing rounds and training with the best in the world. And in my opinion, in the UK, Next Generation in Liverpool is probably the best gym. Like, it's one of the best gyms in Europe. So I just thought, I know them from previous camps. I've gone down a few times and they've helped me out quite a lot. They're all sound. So I just thought that's the best move I could make. And you know what? In the last fucking hell, how long have I been there now properly? I think it's been a month, just over a month, maybe 2 months. Fuck me. I knew nothing about MMA. That's the way I look at it. That's how I find. I've been training for 10 years, mate. I've been training for 10 fucking years and fighting for 10. Well, I've been training longer than 10 years. I've been fighting in MMA for 10 years. And going to that gym has just opened my eyes so fucking much. Like, so much. The level of training, the bodies on the mat, the knowledge from all the guys, all the coaching. I think that this move that I've made will make a massive difference going forward. Because, yeah, I feel like I'm still a baby in the sport. When I went into that last fight, I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, in 2 years, I'm going to be in the UFC. And I used the word cocky. I don't think I was cocky. I think I just had a feeling that, well, I'm smashing everybody in training. So, everything's feeling good. But that was in my comfort zone. And then when it got into the cage against that guy, everything was great. I was full of confidence. And then something changed. And it was like the level. Like, I always expected my grappling to be absolutely unstoppable. Like, as you know, went for a flying armbar in that fight. It failed. Pretty much turned into a fucking guard pull. I was on my back thinking, my corner was screaming, get up. And I was just laying there like a cocky twat thinking, nah, I'm going to submit him. Like, every other fight I've had, when I've ended up on the ground, I've submitted him straight away. So I was just dead set on, I'm going to get a triangle or an armbar and I'm going to fucking finish this guy in the first round. And what happens? 1 elbow. Ouch. 2 elbows. Ouch. He passes to half guard. More elbows. Then eventually goes to mount. And that's all she wrote. That was a reality check. And it just showed that I need to open up my skills and I need to work on a lot of different things. Like, realistically, no disrespect to that guy, going back, obviously I can't change the clock. I was out striking him on the feet. If I stood back up, I might have knocked him out. But yeah, make the changes, we go forward. It's one of them. Like, it's a lesson learned, and to be honest with you, fair play to the guy. I like him. He's a good guy. I will fight him again one day though, and I will get that win back. But respect to him, because he's a cool guy.
Yeah, heading into this one, I researched you, and I felt like the way you accepted the loss was fantastic. But the way I'm hearing you speak now, it shows maturity, shows acceptance of obviously the lesson, and it just shows that the mentality, that the way you're thinking, and that's what's going to help you ultimately progress to get further up the rankings, and that's the mentality you need as a fighter, basically.
Yeah, you just mentioned rankings. This is the way I'm looking at it now. I couldn't give two fucks. I used to, no, seriously. Before that fight, I was thinking, I've got to fight this guy, I've got to fight that guy. I've got all this pressure on me. I've got to get to the UFC in 2 years. That's literally how I was thinking. Now, I couldn't give two fucks. Seriously, I couldn't give two fucks. All I'm going to do is take each fight as it comes. Like, God knows who I'm fighting next. God knows when I'm fighting next. Well, I have an idea, but I don't know if I can say officially.
Oh.
I have an idea, but I can't. I don't think I can say officially. I'll probably spew it out at some point in the interview. But I'm just going to take it a fight at a time and try my best to learn to love the process, because that's something that in my previous fight, so I was on a big win streak. Obviously, shit happens. I end up fighting a few fucking tin cans. Okay, that just happens. In lower level MMA, that happens. Okay, guys pull out of fights, blah blah blah, whatever. I have fought good guys too, but I was on a win streak and I was winning, and I forgot what it was like to be in a situation like I am now, and I felt the pressure of it all. Like, I've got to do this to get to this. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, don't look at the destination. Like, look at the journey. Like, I'm young. I want to enjoy my youth. Like, so I'm gonna try and like do my best to enjoy the process of training and enjoy the process of learning, because that's I think like the big thing that I missed out on in that last camp. Like, I was just thinking it's all about winning that fight. It's all about showing off and proving to everybody. Like, I was telling people I'm going to fly an armbar the guy in the first round. Fuck that. Next fight, I'll win however I want to fucking win. I'll just go in there, and if it's a boring fight, fuck it. As long as I win, I don't care.
That's it. At the end of the day, as long as you get your hand raised, it doesn't matter how you get your hand raised. That's it. That's the thing. What matters the most, ultimately,
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
exactly, 100%. Like, if I play my cards right, that might be my last loss if I play my cards right. But only time will tell. I doubt it. I bet I'm going to lose a lot more in the future. I don't think I'll lose in the near future, but I'm expecting it, because I'm not going to be fighting fucking idiots anymore.
That's it.
I'm going to be fighting whoever the fuck they put in front of me at this point. So it's one of them. Like, but the one thing about me is I'll still be in this game. Like, whatever happens. Like, I snapped my fucking leg in my first amateur fight, and something in my fucking head just said, "Nah, you're not fucking stopping this. You're going to do this to the day you die." And no matter what happens, I'm still going to go forward and try and chase that dream. I will be in the UFC one day. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
And exactly, that's the mentality. As we were talking about, the mentality every fighter's got to have. And look at these these goals, these objectives, and fight for it. And I love hearing this type of stuff. I want to look at rewind, should we say, a little bit, and talk about next gen, the move to next gen, going there full time, 1 month. It's quite a commute for yourself. Talk to me about that. An early training in the morning.
I like how you know that. So I wake up. Oh, I don't drive. For listeners that don't know that, I don't drive. I get the train every single fucking day. Sometimes I'm lucky, and one of my friends will want to go down to Next Gen in the morning, so I'll get sometimes. But that's not always the case. So I have to get up about 6:30. I have my breakfast and that. Luckily, my dad actually drops me off at the train station on his way to work, so that's all right. I get the train from Mill Hill about 7:40, 7:39. Sometimes earlier. It depends on what trains. Like you know what trains are fucking like at the minute. It depends on what trains are cancelled, what trains actually available. Sometimes I have to go up even fucking earlier. I get a train to Preston, then I get another train to Wigan, and then a train from Wigan to fucking Liverpool. And oh my god, today, like I was saying off camera before, I was saying I've just got back home basically. I finished training at about 4, and I've literally just got back home. Because trains today, like loads of delays, loads of cancellations. It's hectic, you know, because strikes. Like I had to get some awkward fucking train journeys today, and there was no trains from Preston to Blackburn today at a reasonable time anyway. So I had to walk to the middle of Preston town centre to get a bus. So it took me about 4 hours to get home today.
That is ridiculous, Chris. That is crazy. That is some dedication to go to next generation. And I want to ask you, you know, the whole process, you know, going out there to train with Paul, train with Adam, worthwhile with the people on the mat as well. Adam Cullen, Nathan Fletcher, Paddy, you know, Molly McCann.
Yeah.
She likes to mix it up as well with the men. Do you reckon this is going to, you know, be worth it? And you talked about a little bit, you know, at the beginning. But do you think this whole process, this is going to pay off, you know, in the future?
Well, I'll say it simply. This is the simplest way I'll put it. There's a saying: you're going to be around the 6 or 7 people or something like that, like some sort of number. You think you know? I think you know where I'm getting at with this. You're going to be them 6 or 7 people that you hang around with the most. If I'm hanging around with losers, I'm going to be a fucking loser. If I'm hanging around with people that are doing all right and getting to a mediocre standard, then that's going to be me. But if I'm hanging around with people that have won world championships, have fought for world championships, are fighting in the UFC, will be fighting in the UFC, well, it's going to be me as well. You know, if you want to be a wolf, you've got to be with wolves. You've got to have yourself surrounded with wolves, and that's what I'm doing. You know, at the minute, it, you know, I love it, but at the same time, it kind of sucks. And I was saying this to, I'm trying to explain this to the guys there. I've gone from a very, very small gym in Blackburn. And by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm not disrespecting the gyms that I've been to previously in any shape or form. Like, you've got to understand that I'm at a super gym now. Next Gen's classed as a fucking super gym. I've gone from a very small gym in Blackburn with not a lot of bodies, no pro fighters at the time, and me and 2 other lads were like the best guys on the mat, so I never really got pushed that much. And then I moved from there to Manchester Predators, which was amazing. Gavin Boardman's probably one of the best coaches I've ever encountered in my life, and I'm always going to thank him for everything. Same with Rob Friedman, my coach before him. I'm still with Rob a little bit. I still do bits for him, I help him out, but them 2 I can't thank enough. But I went to Manchester Predators. Better standard of training because there's more pros on the mat, but still, it was missing something. There was like a key ingredient that it was missing, and I always I wanted to stay there because I got on with them all, and I wanted to stay there because I wanted to be that guy that gets them to the UFC. Because I don't think there's been a UFC fighter out of that gym yet. Not of yet. Obviously, there probably is going to be one day. It's a fucking fantastic gym, but it was lacking bodies. It was awkward for me. There was only like lightweights and welterweights and bantamweights. There was no featherweights for me to really go with, and no pros either. Like all the pros were either smaller or too big. So I was missing out on things. So I was mixing up my training going there and next gen, and it sadly just didn't work like that. So I moved to next gen, and it's been like, wow, the level of training, like I'm fucked all the time. Like, serious, I'm fucked all the time. Like, when I was training at the other two gyms, I had to do loads of extra shit because I never thought I'm working hard enough. I don't want to sound like a cunt saying that, but I never thought I was working hard enough. I always had self-doubt that I'm not doing enough. And I've kind of brought that mentality to next gen, and I'm fucked. I'm fucked. So anytime they're saying to me, like, Chris, stop doing this stupid shit during the week, like I'm doing extra shit, like hitting a bag, or I meet up with one of my mates, like I've still got a mark on my nose. I met up with one of my mates who I coached a little bit, and I just said, he asked me, do you want to do some sparring rounds, like just some fucking hard sparring rounds? I was like, yeah, sound. And I was just fucked going into the week. And they're all asking me, like, why are you sparring at other places when you don't need to? You can do all your stuff here. And that's just the reality. The training's that hard there. It's like my body's not used to it. My mind's not used to it. I was always used to being the either in the top 5 or even the top 3 best guys in my previous gyms. If you get what I mean, I was always top dog in my previous gyms. And then going to next gen, it's like I'm not at the very bottom, but I'm not at the top, if you get me, in terms of the food chain. So it's a reality check, and it keeps me humble, and it's what I need. It's that challenge, that ladder to climb up. I've always needed that.
I mean, you put the nail on the head. It's going to be so beneficial for
But
your.
that's no disrespect to the previous gyms. Like they've got me as far as they could.
Absolutely, absolutely. At the end of the day, as you talked about, next gen is a super gym. Just the names that they have on the mat, it's ridiculous. And the coaches, Paul Rimmer, one of the greatest minds in MMA, he's ridiculous. So
another thing that's this is one of the reasons why I picked next gen. So there's another reason why I picked next gen because you're about to give them all their accolades and everything. So I could have picked a lot of different gyms. The reason I picked next gen is because it's a super gym. It's one of the best gyms in Europe. But not only that, all their talent, every single one of them lads on the mat that they've got to Cage Warriors, that they've got to the UFC, that they've got, they started with them. Paul's brought them up from the ground up as fighters. A lot of other gyms, no disrespect to them, but a lot of other gyms, like, they kind of poach people a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. There's no disrespect to them, but that's just because it's easier. It's easier to do that. Someone comes in that's already good. The hard work's already been done. Paul has literally got guys who know nothing and got them to the point where they're fighting in the UFC. Paddy started at Next Gen. Molly started at Next Gen. They're in the fucking UFC now. You know what I'm saying? Cool. The proof's in the pudding. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided, because if they can get people from absolutely nothing to the pinnacle of MMA, then they can do that. They can do that 100% with me. I believe that.
Absolutely agree. I'd love to move on, and I could sit here and talk all day. But I'd love to talk about, I feel like you're, a massive. You are a massive advocate for autism. It's in your bio. You support it a lot, and I'd love to talk about that. How important is that for you? How much does that mean for you, as well as fighting? What kind of message are you looking to spread with that while fighting?
It's massive for me. When I was younger, I got bullied like fuck, and there was a lot of things, like still to this day, like I have some. I don't get bullied per se, but I'm very socially awkward. They're learning that. Well, obviously they already knew it at Next Gen, but they're getting a bit more of it because obviously I'm there a lot more, and I'm actually shocked at how well they're all handling it. But nah, I want to push that awareness for it, and I want young lads, and girls, because girls can be autistic too. It's not as common, but girls can be autistic too. I want them all to know that they can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, if someone says you can't do something because of conforming or whatever bullshit they want to say, tell them to fuck off. If people around you are being horrible and you know, taking the piss out of you, just know that if you've got a passion, if you've got something that you want to do, keep pushing for it, because you might be getting bullied at school or something that's going on, and you're going to be thinking, I hate all this. Like, you're going to be, you know, I know some kids that have fucking took their life going through shit at school. Sadly, the fucking high school that I went to whilst I was there was an autistic lad that fucking hung himself because he got bullied off some girls. I won't bring up names out of respect, but yeah, I just want them to all know that if they keep going, they keep pushing in whatever they want to do, art, dance, music, you know, some people like to fight. Gaming, fucking hell, there's a fucking, you can make money out of fucking gaming now. Jesus Christ. Anything you want to do, just push for it. Don't give a fuck what people say. Push for it as hard as you can. And all them people that have been bullying you, every single one of them pricks, I'll tell you right now, once you get to where you want to be, they're going to be depressed as shit, because that's the reality that I've seen. Like, I've pushed, you know, I don't wish fucking ill will on anybody, but all the people that bullied me when I was a kid, every single one of them's a loser now. Just saying. I'll say that as fact. They're all losers. They're all losers, and they all want to be my mate now. But before, they were all horrible. But that's just the reality of it. I always told myself, it hurts now, it's horrible now, but when I'm older and I make it to where I want to be, my life's going to be better and their life's going to suck. And wow, it actually happened that way. It's the truth. So there you go. Keep
And
pushing, kids.
that
Pushing.
bittersweet feeling that you will have once you do make it to the UFC,
Hey,
that will feel
fuck
good.
that. Even if I don't make it to the UFC, I will make it to the fucking UFC. Don't get me wrong. But even if I don't make it to the UFC, I've achieved more than all them pricks that bullied me ever could dream of. I've achieved more than all that. So, yeah, if I'm a coach, I open up my own gym. I'm happy. I'm doing what I love for a living. I'm happy now. Fucking training alongside the best fighters in the world now. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I never thought I'd be doing that. So, yeah, I'm happy now. So, you know, I've won in terms of that. But still more to be done. But I'm doing that for myself, not to prove anything. I'm just doing that for myself the further I go on this journey.
Absolutely. My last question, it is from Smesh Sports, and he wants to ask about that takeaway story. Dropping your pizza twice in one time sounds awful.
Why do you fucking remind me of that? Fuck! Oh my god, I was so pissed off. Oh my god, what the fuck? So here's what happened, right? So I put a pizza in the oven. I didn't even get it from a fucking takeaway. Okay, this is how fucking sad and depressing this is. I would have been more mortified if I bought it from a fucking takeaway, like a really expensive pizza. So anyway, I put this fucking pizza in the oven, and it's one of them smaller. Well, I say small. It's about a 7-inch pizza, okay. But at my calorie counter, it was appropriate to eat at that point. So I've waited all day for like this cheat meal, all day. I'm just like, yes, I can't wait for this. I really can't wait for this. Like, it's gonna be heaven. I was gonna like lie in bed with my girlfriend. I was gonna watch Rick and Morty or some. I can't remember what I was watching. I was either watching Rick and Morty or Black Mirror or some shit on Netflix. They had my pizza. Okay. So what happens? I go to the fucking oven. I pull it out. I get my little pizza slicer. I start cutting it, and I'm like, fantastic. I grab it. It slips right off the plate and onto the floor. And it was the fucking top inside that hit the ground first, flat. And I was, and it was at my girlfriend's house, and she has cats and a dog, and they're all walking around, and on the floor. It's hers on the floor. So I pull it up, and my girlfriend's like, "Oh, you can still eat that." can still eat that. I was like, I don't want to, but fuck it, I'm going to have to eat it. So I'm mad at this point. And it was on tiled floor, so so it couldn't have got that bad. Go upstairs, and I put my pizza on the side. I'm chatting to my bird. I go to pick up my pizza, it slips off the fucking plate again, and it goes right onto the carpet floor. The carpet floor. So it's full of fucking hairs. The cheese, the tomatoes, fucking ruined. I just decide, you know what? Fuck this. I'm getting a Chinese. So now I'm fucking Chinese. That comes, and you know what? It was good. The Chinese was lovely, but it killed my calorie count. Fuck me, it killed my calorie count. So that just full on ruined my night. Yeah. I actually went sick when it dropped to the ground. Like, don't know if Courtney's downstairs or not. I might ask her like how I reacted, but I was fucking fuming. I think I started just swinging at the air, like really pissed off and stamping on the floor. I can't remember, but I was swearing like fuck. I was so mad.
That's so funny. I love it. That is fantastic. Obviously, disaster. Waiting all day for a pizza and it drops twice.
Fuck's sake, I want a pizza now, to be honest.
I don't want to.
I've almost been put off it, man. I've almost been put off it. It's like, so if I get a pizza and that happens again, fuck. Nah, I don't like that feeling. I don't want that feeling again. It was so because like with the way I am, like if I plan something, it has to happen.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean, because of my autism, like if I have a schedule, if I have planned something, and it's like, right, I'm having a pizza. That is set in stone. That is happening. I'm having this fucking pizza. There's no alternate universe where I'm not eating that fucking pizza. Okay. It's no, it's not. Something died inside of me. Seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Price, an absolute legend on the mic, telling everything. You know, he's very open. I mean, it was phenomenal. Chris, an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for your time. It was beautiful, fantastic. Thank you very much, as I talked about. And I can't wait to see you next. You dropped a little hint. I don't want to ask you about it. I don't want to ask you about it because obviously it's confidential and stuff like that. And Cage Warriors will get onto your back. So we'll keep it strictly there. This will be a little teaser for all the fans that are watching.
Stay tuned.